Welcome to the audiobook of New Social Studies, Grade 10. Unit 9, Lesson 6, page number 374, Globalization and Localization. Globalization. Globalization means the opening of local and nationalistic perspective to a broader outlook of an interconnected and interdependent world with free transfer of capital, goods, and services across national boundary. This is the process of international integration arising from the interchange of world views, products, ideas, and other aspects of culture. Due to the trend of dealing at the world level, the geographical boundaries are getting lost and the entire world has turned into a small village. As stated by Professor Brown, globalization is a world without border. Progress in transportation and telecommunication has been the major factors in globalization, generating further interdependence of economic and cultural activities. It has also enabled free flows of views, goods, and services. The social, cultural, political, and economic system which we are adopting at present are depicting the globalization. Though the globalization is mainly concerned with economic aspects, it has an effect on political, social, and cultural aspects as well. Thus, the free transference of individual goods, service, capital, and information crossing the national border is known as globalization. The concept of democratization, privatization, freedom, human rights, marketing, etc. emerged in the developed countries and transferred towards the developing countries. The concept developed in the advanced countries are being adopted in the developing countries. Not only these, the globalization has affected in the foreign aid, mass medias, multinational companies, international economic organizations, tourist, technology, politics, diplomacy, education, human rights, etc. The developing and least developed countries are more influenced by the globalization. It has also supported to increase the access to market, development of technology and mobilization of means and resource in those countries. Globalization has both positive and negative effects. Here we have a table for positive effects, which are the strength of globalization, and on the other side there is negative effects, which is the weakness of globalization. So I will talk about both effects, positive and negative. So positive effect of globalization, it has helped the developed countries to extend foreign relation, reduce poverty, and decrease trade imbalance. And negative side of it is least developed countries and developing countries are comparatively less benefited from the science and technology. Now the positive effect, developing and least developed countries are getting foreign aid to support for quality education and health facilities, whereas negative effect is indigenous culture, tradition, value, and norms get degraded, and the trend of blindly adopting foreign culture and tradition increases in the society. Positive effect. Information and knowledge about the other countries can be obtained through various means of communication. Negative effect. Dependency increases in economy, national unity and nationality become weak, which makes the weak countries weaker. Positive effect. Development in free trade, trade diversification, flow of capital, increment in foreign investment, increase in the capital of laborers. Negative effect. Developing and least developed countries may lack skilled manpower due to the trend of brain drain. Positive effect. International competition in the trade, consequently people can buy quality goods at low cost. Negative effect. Increase in drug trafficking, use of weapons, infectious disease, and social deviation. Positive effect. End of the misunderstanding between the countries and improve in peace and security. Negative effect, extension of multinational companies' effect in the national economy. The gap between rich and poor gets wider. This is the negative effect. Now the positive effect, the transfer of the goods and services available in the developed countries, which helps to improve the living style in developing countries. Negative effect, pressure by rich and powerful countries on weak country to follow their perspectives and principle. Localization. Localization means the process of making something local in character or restricting it to a particular place. It is also defined as administrative decentralization. Localization gives priority to particular area. It focuses in the preservation and promotion of local culture, tradition, customs, values, and norms. Localization is concerned with the concept to promote opinion, views, knowledge, will, and thought. It focuses on the identification and preservation of indigenous knowledge, skill, technology. It emphasizes in the local development extending the access to communication technology. In the context of Nepal, the newly introduced federal system has increased the importance of localization. It has given more importance to the direct participation of people in politics, distribution of services at local level, socio-economic development of local area, and political localization. In fact, the localization means the conservation of originality. It prioritizes in the unity in diversity. Thus, the UN has given significance to localization in the MDGs and SDGs. Localization also have both positive and negative effect. Positive effect, which is the strength of localization, and negative effect, which is weakness of localization. So positive effect, it focuses on the development of backward class. Negative, it obstructs in the supply of international goods and services. Positive, it emphasizes on the people-centered development. Negative, it emphasizes on the development of only a limited and small area. Positive effect, it opposes the interference of foreign countries and protects the nationality. Negative, it makes the people orthodox towards their caste or class. Positive, it focuses in the uses of local products. Negative, it makes the people deprived of foreign culture and economy. Positive, it preserves and promotes the indigenous culture and tradition. Negative, it prevents the goods and services from internationalization. Positive, it discourages the internationalization of laborer and good. Negative, it focuses on the development of a particular area rather than the whole country. Activities, page number 376. Number 1. Imagine that you got a chance to observe a fair running with the motto, use domestic product and promote local enterprises. What other information do you expect to get from that fair? Write your answer in a model of news article. Exercise. Very short answer questions. Number 1. What is globalization? Number 2. Write any 2 negative aspects of globalization. Number 3. Define localization. Short answer questions. Number 1. Present 4 strengths of globalization. Number 2. Discuss about the negative effects of the globalization. Number 3. Discuss the economic features of globalization. Number 4. Write the differences between globalization and localization. Number 5. Mention the positive and negative aspects of localization. Community work. Visit your community and talk with the local people about losing their indigenous quality. Suggest some tips to maintain their identity. This is the end of Unit 9, Lesson 6. And this is also the end of whole Unit 9 and actually the whole book. We still have some additional learning materials which I will read in another episodes. But because this is the last lesson, last unit of the whole chapter, I wanted to say all the very best and study very well. I hope this podcast really help you learn and further your study. All the very best. Thank you. podcast is dedicated to visually impaired students. So if you know anybody who needs this book to listen and learn, please share the link, and also please subscribe the channel. Thank you and all the best.